Good evening, all Atmas. Today, under Bagavad Gita, Gnana, Yagna, we are going to continue with this chapter 2, communion through knowledge. Yesterday we have seen about the yoga. Today, the same Gnana Yoga, that is, if one has to achieve success in life, they should imbibe the divine qualities. Today morning we have seen Atma Siddhi Yoga, and that is being imbibed by this practice of communion through knowledge. That is nothing but Gnana Yoga. So here in this sloka, what Lord Krishna tells to Arjuna is, in those following the path of yoga, the buddhi, the understanding power of the discriminative intelligence power of buddhi, that has the nature of producing conviction, is directed towards a single objective. In those without any spiritual conviction, the understanding gets scattered and pursues countless ends. What does it mean? So, when you are following the path of yoga, yoga is skill in action. The buddhi, the discriminative intelligence, that is the understanding power of our intelligence, buddhi, that has the nature of producing conviction. Conviction means you should have a very clear goal of your life. If there is a clear goal, that is, this is the path I have to take, this is the goal I have to achieve in my life, that should be very clear, crystal clear in your mind. That is called conviction. If that is there, the buddhi is directed towards a single object. Our intellect will just focus on that goal, single objective. It will not get diverted by any external things. But in those without any spiritual conviction, the understanding gets scattered and pursues countless ends. It doesn't have a spiritual conviction, it doesn't have a clear goal. The mind gets dragged in different directions. So let us take, for instance, a student life, brahmacharya life. One student is having a very clear goal, that he wants to become a scientist, and he want to do some great work for the benefit of the humanity, benefit of the nation, benefit of the world. Like that, he had a very clear conviction. That is, so every person, the sixth sense, the discriminative intelligence of man, should be used in such a way that our life should not be like an animal. We are born and we are going to live in this world for a short time. We have to see, we have to leave some imprint, in the sense, something what our next generation people will benefit out of that. And that's true in a proper legal, moral, ethical way. You have to give a divine path for people to follow. It may be a scientific invention, it may be a spiritual invention, it may be a political way of living. So, that is, see, we live in this short period in this world, and there should be a meaning to our birth. We should not die like an animal. Animal uses five senses. We also use our sixth sense to satisfy these five senses. We get up in the morning, have our attend nature's call, have our food, go to school or office, then come in the evening, do the work and have a relaxation, and then go to sleep. Again morning same thing. Like that. So student completes the education and get employment and get married and give birth children, work hard for getting them educated, and then get them married, and finally he sees old age and finally dies. This is what an animal also does. An animal, what it is, for instance, whether it is a tiger or a dog, anything, the kid is there, kid is born, it grows, it gets fed by the mother, And once it grows, the mother teaches how to catch its prey. And once it grows and it starts catching its prey, like for example tiger, then it lives on its own feet, and then it gets mated with this opposite sex, and they get birth to kids, and they take care of the kids, and finally when the ripe ages come, they die. This is the thing what animal does and we does. No. We have some meaning in our life. Animal doesn't have karma. Whatever it does, it doesn't have karma. But we, when you use our sixth discriminative intelligence, while doing the same act as that of an animal, in satisfying our five senses, morning get up, going to school, or going to college, or going to employment, getting married, taking care of the family. So we come across a lot of other people where our interpersonal relationship matters a lot. And in this interpersonal relationship, while fulfilling our duties, we come across so many souls with different attitudes, different behaviors, different divine and tamasic, rajasic gunas, characters which we come across. And when we face the arrows, at that time, how to react back, reflect back to that arrows, if it is not clearly known because of want of Gnana, then naturally we commit mistakes, and that leads to accumulation of negative rajasic and tamasic gunas in us. We feel anger, we feel jealousy, we feel hatred by facing these acts. That anger, jealousy in the initial stages when you are not able to achieve success in your effort, you feel self-anger on yourself. That's most dangerous. Self-anger, self-dejection. The person who commits suicide is mainly because self-anger. He hates himself. That is one of the reasons, because it's all due to Yagna. So what Bhagavad Gita, this chapter says is, when you have the Gnana, here what it shows, you should have a very, very clear goal. So in a school, a student is having a very clear, he wants to become a scientist, so that he focuses on subject. That's why in schools, teachers ask, what do you want to become? I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a scientist, I want to be an aeronautic engineer, like that. One should have a clear goal, what is they want to achieve. Once the goal is clear and their conviction becomes strong, the buddhi directs them to achieve that goal. So, if you want to achieve that goal, what he has to do is dedicate himself. That is the long-term goal. The teacher tells, okay, your goal is good, but if you want to achieve, you should not build castle in the air. You should put all the effort. You should put a strong foundation right from the beginning. So, if your conviction for achieving the long-term goal should be very strong, so that your buddhi puts a very strong pile foundation to make you achieve that, irrespective of the status, irrespective of the economic conditions. For instance, Dr. Abdul Kalam, who born in a very poor family, he had a very clear vision, he had a conviction. He's a great yogi, basically. His buddhi is clear, his understanding is clear. Yes, the nature of Buddha, the conviction is clear goal that he wants to become a great scientist. So though in his olden days there is no light, so he used to sit in the street light and studied. He studied in only government school, Tamil medium, but he was able to achieve success and become a great scientist. And later he became a president of India, and he did his duties perfectly. Until his last breath, as a scientist, a retired person, he inspired so many youth, college students, to make them into a valuable asset. He asked everybody to dream, that only when you dream, you can make the dream into reality. The dream is the path for having a clear goal. Everybody should dream, he said. You have a clear goal, so that you can have the clear conviction as which path you can go. When you have a clear goal, you are fixing a destiny. Otherwise, 360 degrees angle. You see, everything is direction for you. Mind gets scattered. That's why it says, in those without spiritual conviction, the understanding gets scattered and pursues counterfeits. It gets scattered. Unless you have the clear conviction, clear goal, the mind gets scattered. And it says this, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that. So many people give so many advices, and you begin to think, this is good. Oh, you can go this way, you can earn money, more money. You can go this way. So that so many things comes and it scatters the mind. A student who is studying in the school, he should have a clear conviction that in this short-term goal, I should score 100 marks in all my subjects. So when the clear conviction is there, he can able to focus on subjects, what teacher tells. As I told you how to prepare, the morning preview, so that once he prepares, once having clear conviction, he prepares the subject perfectly. He make a preview of the subject. Today, teacher told she will be teaching this lesson. Let me go through, have a clear vision as what is the subject. So I understood the subject myself thoroughly because of my interest, inquisitiveness, the burning desire in me to achieve my goal. That interest in conviction is there. So when you read this and when you go to school, whatever the balanced doubts you have got while teaching while teacher is taking the lesson, he focuses and gains all the doubts clarified himself by hearing the lecture and from the explanation he received. He didn't ask any questions. From the explanation given by the teacher itself, he gets clarified all his doubts. And later in the evening, he prepares subject according to the classwork what he has given and gets thorough on the same day. He has had a very, very clear conviction how to use his mind perfectly so that the mind does not get this stress. And without any stress, without any strain, it is able to achieve its goal perfectly. Whereas the backbencher, instead of focusing, he never prepares, does any preview. He comes there, enjoys his life, he scatters his energy in different directions, teasing people and cutting jokes, having smoking, all these negative habits. So he diverts himself, his mind he doesn't have a clear goal. What is that? Let us see next. It never bothered about when it is told you should study on the same day. Go. After a month exam, test is there. Even just pass is over. Okay. Because he is not having a clear goal, clear conviction in his mind. That's why his mind energy gets scattered in various directions. And he could not able to bring out an inherent talents thoroughly. That's why he say, one should have in the path of yoga, the buddhi, the understanding that has nature of producing conviction, is directed towards a single object. So you should have, if you want to achieve success in your career, you should have this conviction. You should have a very clear goal. Long-term goal, short-term goal. As a student, you should achieve 100 marks in all subjects. That should be the short-term goal. For what? Once you gain this knowledge, I want to become an engineer, to become a doctor. You should have the long-term goal very clear. The conviction should be very clear. Then only you can able to achieve success. Otherwise, like backbencher, your mind gets scattered 360 degrees and wastes all your energy. And ultimately, the time passes. By that time, you complete your education life and turn back and what you have achieved, you see, you have wasted your time in enjoying unnecessarily without focusing on the studies and not getting through the examinations. Because of that, later when you enter the grihasthashrama, you suffer because of want of proper employment. You get employment with low income because your qualification is not sufficient. And you struggle all through the life. So, conviction at the early stage is very important. And this conviction is applicable at each and every stage. Whatever decisions you do, take, whatever path you follow, whatever profession you take, whatever the duties as a father you have to do, mother you have to do, husband you have to do, son you have to do, everything, the duties should be done with clear conviction. This is my role to be done this junction. So each and every moment, whatever duties you are supposed to do, you have to have a very clear goal, have a clear conviction. This is the way I have to do. And the way in which you have to do that with conviction should be done in a selfless way. So yoga means selfless. You should not have any attachment. Because when you do anything with conviction, but it is purely selfish, and if that is selfish, then it is going to affect somebody. You're going to exploit and get for your selfish aggrandizement, means there you accumulate karma. So conviction should be selfless, not selfish. So yoga always speaks about selfless action. Action should be selfless. In the sense, whatever work you do, in the quest of gaining knowledge, in the quest of gaining employment, in the quest of gaining money, you should not make somebody else to suffer. At the cost of somebody suffering, if it does, it accumulates bad karma. It is not a real conviction. It is a selfish conviction. So one should have the clarity of selfless conviction. That is the real yoga. For your success, you pull down somebody's legs and you go up in the ladder. If you want to go up in the ladder, it's the biggest karma your negative karma you are accumulating. So you should gain your knowledge and you should prove your talents on your own, so that you have to travel towards the light. The shadow follows. That is when you go towards fulfilling your duties with full conviction, then whatever the results, it follows behind you. Either it is a result in the examination, good marks in the examination, or good talents which you are bringing out. The talents, when you do anything with pure, perfect conviction, a clear goal, your inherent talents comes out dramatically. Your Kundalini Shakti awakens you. Spiritually and materialistically you achieve success. The way you bring out, you develop in the path of, when you have a clear conviction, your mind is focused. You have patience, perseverance, dedication, devotion, involvement, self-determination, self-confidence. At the same time, you have developed the leadership qualities which you learn from our elders. See, that's why in school studies we have the social studies, where we learn about the great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda, like Dr. Abdul Kalam. They are all great visionaries and they have achieved a social respect, and they have achieved great status in the society. The father of a nation, Mahatma Gandhi, adopted the Ahimsa philosophy to get the freedom from Britishers. So that gives the divine quality of what one has to gain from the great leaders. We have to take the inspiration from the great leaders, great entrepreneurs, great successful scientists. So they are the great inspiration for us. They are all human beings like us. And how they are able to achieve great heights is because they had a clear conviction, clear goal in their mind. You see, many of the people who have reached great heights, not that they are all very glorious, all common men who are able to achieve the great heights. It's because of the clear conviction in their thinking how to achieve their goal. And they did it with the pure dedication, involvement, all divine qualities. Selfless attitude, selfless action is important. That brings the real leadership qualities in oneself, and that gives the real recognition in the society for one. If one gets more money, earn more money by involving in smuggling and other things, you may think that you are in a great status by accumulating black money, doing black marketing work, involving in adultery activity, all these things. You may go in big cars and everything, but people who are society, they treat as a cheap person. Because of your having a coterie of rowdies and other people, you may create a fear among the people. This is the kind of various kinds of people. But that doesn't give the real, because when the person dies, he should be respected by the society. The people should weep for his loss. That is the kind of conviction one should build in developing the qualification, experience, and the service to humanity should be. Because when you become selfless in your conviction, then your goal will not be confined to your selfish development alone. It will be the development of the entire community. That's why leadership qualities is, once from the student level, one has to gain knowledge. At the same time, they should see that others in the class also gain knowledge. You share the knowledge. See, when you gain knowledge, and if you share the knowledge grows. That is the simple method of the yogic selfless service, where the conviction not only takes you in the path of achieving great heights, you simultaneously take along with your people, with your inspiration, they also go up in the heights. And that is a great selfless service. This is the objective of this conviction which we have seen. And now the next sloka about the work, how you have to do the work, we will see in the next session. Thank you.